Have you ever seen your dog curl up in your lap, let out a soft sigh, and you wondered, does my pup really trust me? Or is it just looking for a comfy spot to nap? Millions of dog owners around the world believe that feeding, bathing, and taking their dogs on walks are enough to prove their love. But the truth is, dogs don't say, "I love you," like humans do. They show it. And if you miss those signs, you might be overlooking a quiet, powerful kind of love. A 2018 study revealed something touching. In unfamiliar or scary situations, puppies feel more secure when a familiar human is present, just like having their mother by their side. Which means, to them, you're not just an owner. You're their safe place, their family. But how can you be sure your dog truly trusts you, not just knows you? In this video, we'll uncover 9 deep signs your dog gives, but only if, and only when, you are someone they fully trust. And sign number 4 has moved thousands of owners to tears. When they realized, so I really do mean that much to my dog. If you recognize more than 5 of these signs, congratulations. You're a far better dog parent than you might have ever believed. Have you ever been playing with your dog when suddenly, it opens its mouth and gently wraps its jaws around your hand, as if to bite, but then, there's no pressure at all? Some people get worried when that happens. That kind of play seems dangerous. But if you look closely, that moment is actually one of the most subtle and moving ways a dog shows trust. To dogs, the mouth is both a weapon and a way of communication. They don't use words, they use their teeth. And when they bring their mouth close to you, but choose not to bite, it's their quiet way of saying, "I could hurt you, but I never would." They won't do this with strangers. Ever. Because to a dog, strangers are the danger zone. But you're their safe zone. I remember the first time my dog did this to me. I had just come home from work, still smelling like fast food and deadlines. He ran up, tail wagging, then suddenly put my hand in his mouth. Have you ever seen your dog chewing on a toy, completely absorbed in play? Then suddenly, they stop, gently drop it, and bring it over to place right in front of you, like a tiny gift? It might seem simple, but to a dog, this is one of the deepest signs of trust they can offer. Dogs naturally tend to guard their treasures. Whether it's a chew bone, a squeaky ball, or an old sock you threw out 3 weeks ago. Once they've claimed it as theirs, sharing is almost unthinkable, unless you're the one they trust the most. I have a friend, a man who lived alone for over 10 years. Barely close to anyone, except his little dog, Lucky. One day, he called me, his voice trembling. She just placed her ball on my foot, and looked at me like she was saying something without words. And then he cried, because in the 5 years he'd had her, it was the first time Lucky had ever given him anything. To Lucky, it wasn't just a ball. Have you ever given your dog a little treat? And instead of dashing off to a hidden corner like usual, they just sit down beside you, calmly chewing each bite? To us, it might not seem like a big deal. But to a dog, it's a powerful, emotional statement. When I'm with you, I don't have to be afraid of anything. A dog's instincts, even a domestic one, always tell them. When you eat, stay alert. That's when you're most vulnerable. In the wild, dogs fight over food. Food means survival. And letting your guard down while eating? That could mean losing everything. So if your dog chooses to eat right beside you, or even lies down to eat without turning their back, that's a clear sign that they don't just trust you. They see you as family, someone whose presence doesn't require caution. I once adopted a rescue dog named Toby. In the early days, every meal felt like a battle. He devoured his food with panic in his eyes, always retreating to a corner, like he was afraid it would all be taken away. It took nearly 3 months before I saw him sit calmly beside me, nibbling on his kibble, no fear, no rush. And that day, I knew he had finally chosen to trust me. A small action, but a huge turning point in the bond between a human and their dog. And you'll be even more moved when your dog rolls onto their back, belly exposed, as you walk near, because that's not just cuteness. That's complete surrender, a symbol of unconditional trust. It was trust. It was her silent way of saying, "You're the one I'm willing to share what I love most with." Some dogs don't just share, they bring toys to invite you to play. But if you ignore them or don't notice, you might miss a special invitation, a chance to step into their little world of love and trust. Sometimes, The smallest actions speak the loudest kind of love. I froze. But then, no pain. No pressure. Just a gentle touch with his mouth. And that wildly wagging tail. As if he was saying, I missed you all day. And I know you'd never hurt me, so I'll never hurt you either. Science calls this inhibited play biting, a form of controlled play that only happens when a dog feels completely safe and trusts the one they're playing with. And maybe, just like us humans, when we know we're truly trusted, that's when we learn to trust in return. And if your pup has ever shared a toy with you, even stopping mid-chew to drop it in your lap, then congratulations, because the next sign of trust is even deeper than this pretend bite. There's a moment most dog owners have seen, but few truly understand. It's when you walk into a room, and your dog is lying on their back. Legs curled up, belly exposed, tail softly wagging. It looks silly, adorable enough to melt your heart. But this isn't just a sleeping position. It's not just playfulness. It's one of the deepest expressions of trust a dog can offer. In the wild, when a dog lies on its back, exposing its belly, it's the ultimate sign of vulnerability. To show the belly is to give up all defense. It's the fastest way to get hurt. So when your dog does this in front of you, it's not out of laziness. It's because they trust you so completely. They're saying, even when I'm at my weakest, I know you'll never hurt me. I once interviewed a professional dog trainer who said, I can teach a dog to do all sorts of tricks, but I can't teach them to trust someone. Trust only comes when you're patient enough, kind enough, and real enough. I still remember coming home after a long day, tired, overwhelmed, carrying the weight of the world. My usually hyperactive dog didn't jump around that day. He just lay there, then slowly rolled onto his back, looking at me, saying nothing. Just that look, and it broke me. I cried. Because sometimes, love doesn't need noise. Just a quiet, surrendered kind of trust. But that's not all. Sometimes, your dog shows trust in the funniest ways. Like, stealing your stuff. Especially the things you've already worn. It might seem annoying, but it's actually one of the cutest signs of love you'll ever see. Ever lost a sock? Or had a pen mysteriously vanish after you just used it yesterday? You might think you simply misplaced it. But chances are, the culprit is curled up in their bed, sound asleep, on top of their prized loot. It may seem like mischief. But if you look deeper, this is actually a beautiful, trust-filled act of love. Why do dogs steal the things that smell like you? The answer is simple. They miss you. And to them, your scent is life itself. It's safety. It's love they can't express in words. When your dog takes your sock, your shirt, or anything you've touched, and hides it in their bed, it's like a child clutching an old teddy bear when they miss their mom. It's a quiet but powerful form of connection. I once heard a heart-wrenching story from a woman whose husband had passed away in an accident. For 2 months after, their dog would carry his old cap to a quiet corner, and just lie next to it. No chewing, no playing, just lying there, as if he was trying to stay close to the one he lost. We often think dogs are simple. But sometimes, their emotions are more pure and more profound than our own. And holding onto your scent is their way of saying, no matter where you go, I still need you here. And if that gesture moved you, wait until the moment you hug your dog tightly, and instead of pulling away, they rest their head on you. You'll realize, sometimes, trust is shown in the gentlest kind of surrender. We, humans, love through hugs. When we're happy, when we're sad, when we need comfort, our instinct is to open our arms and hold someone close. And so, we do the same with our dogs. We scoop them up, pull them into our arms, and gently squeeze them in a loving embrace. But here's something most people don't know. Dogs don't hug each other. They don't naturally enjoy being held tightly. To them, a hug can feel restricting, even threatening. So if your dog lets you hug them, doesn't squirm, doesn't try to break free, if they even nestle their head into your chest and slowly close their eyes, that's not just acceptance. That's trust. That's their quiet sacrifice, because they know you need it. I once met an elderly man who lived alone with a small dog named Max. Whenever his legs hurt and he couldn't get up, Max would climb onto the chair, curl up in his lap, and lie still. No movement, no growls, just silent presence, like a quiet hug. And the man once told me, he knows I'm not okay, so he lets me hold him. even though I know he doesn't like it. Sometimes, love doesn't mean getting what you want. It means giving what they need, just to ease their burden a little. So if your dog lets you hug them, not because they enjoy it, but because they know you need it, and they trust you not to hurt them, that's love in its purest form. And if one day, they lick your face, your cheek, maybe even your lips, don't push them away just yet. Because that might just be the deepest message of love they know how to give. You've probably experienced it before. The moment you sit down, and your pup jumps up, stretches toward your face, and plants a big, wet, uninvited lick right on your lips. Some people laugh, some are startled, others might wipe it away, slightly annoyed. But if you knew the emotional, instinctive origin behind this behavior, you might see each sneaky kiss as a special kind of honor. A dog licking a human's mouth actually traces back to puppyhood, when they were just little pups. In the wild, puppies lick their mother's mouth to ask for, well, regurgitated food from her stomach. It sounds gross, but it's nature's way of feeding, and a pup's way of showing dependence, trust, and affection. So when your dog licks your lips or face, they're not asking for food. They're replaying their most primal gesture of love. To them, you are their parent, their family, the one they trust the most. I remember an elderly couple with a golden retriever named Juno. The wife once shared with me. After my husband passed, every morning Juno would climb into bed, lick my lips like an alarm clock. At first, I found it annoying, but then I realized, she just wanted me to know, I'm still here with you. Mom, dogs don't do this with everyone. Only those they consider part of their heart do they share affection in this raw, meaningful way. Because sometimes, love isn't polished or fancy. It's a little leftover instinct, a puppy memory turned into a lick full of trust. And if one day, your dog voluntarily offers you their paw, lets you hold it mid-stand, remember this, they're putting their balance, their whole sense of stability, right in your hands. Maybe you've taught your pup to shake, a fun little trick almost every dog owner loves. Paw, you say, and your dog gently places their paw in your hand like a soft high five. Adorable. But behind that simple gesture lies a kind of trust we often overlook. To us, a handshake is a social ritual, a greeting, an agreement, a connection. But for dogs, offering a paw to be held comes with real risk. Their paws are their balance, their foundation. To give up a paw is to give up their stability. So when a dog willingly offers you their paw, even just for play, what they're really saying is, I trust you to keep me steady. And I know, you won't let me fall. I once asked a veterinarian, how do you check a dog's injured paw when it's scared? He just smiled and said, no fancy technique. If the dog trusts you, they'll give it to you. If they don't, you've got nothing. And it's true. Some dogs will offer their paw to strangers on cue. But you'll know the difference, the real handshake of trust. It's when they not only give their paw, but leave it there. Leaning into you, looking at you with eyes that seem to ask, if I tip over, you'll catch me, won't you? In that moment, you're not just a pet owner. You're the one holding up their whole little world. The truth is, dogs place an incredible amount of trust in us every single day, in all the little things they do. But the real question is, have you ever trusted them back? There's a moment when no sound is made. No shake, no face licking, no toy brought to your feet. Just your dog quietly walking over, lying down beside you, not asking for anything, not expecting anything, just wanting to be near you. Not because they're hungry, not because they're bored, but simply because, in their world, you are the calmest place to be. For dogs, choosing where to rest is a survival instinct. They will never settle beside someone they don't feel safe with. So when your dog chooses to lie next to you, not to play or eat, but just to be there, that's the highest form of trust. I have a friend, an older man who lived alone for many years, with only his dog as company. When he fell seriously ill and could no longer speak, the dog never left his side. It lay under the bed from morning till night, sometimes shifting closer to rest its head on his hand, then lying back down again. No one told it to do that. It just stayed, as if to say, I can't fix anything, but I won't let you be alone. No words, just presence. And if you've ever wondered, do dogs know how to love? Do they really know how to trust? The answer might not lie in the noisy gestures. It might live in the quiet moments, When your dog just needs you to be you. Nothing more, nothing less. If you've ever seen even just one of these signs, even once, then congratulations. You've become the safest place in your dog's heart. Not everyone who owns a dog gets to be that. Feeding them, bathing them, taking them for walks, that's not always enough. Trust is something built, day by day, with gentle eyes, patient hands, and quiet evenings spent together, saying nothing, just being. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be there when they need you most. Because to a dog, you're not just an owner. You're home, the one they've chosen to trust above all else. And if you've made it this far, I truly believe you're the kind of person any dog would be lucky to call theirs. Share this video with a fellow dog parent. You might just help them realize they're being loved more than they ever knew.